Great. Thank you so much. I'm honored, really
Great.
honored.
Likewise.
I have a question first. It's starting to come up more and more for me. I'm just about to turn 65 and I'm still working and still doing my life. And what I'm noticing is that, for instance, I made my first trip plans to go away after 2 years, and there were a lot of pieces, and the what's in my chest was like, it was hard to think, and I got flooded and blah 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 blah. And so I guess there's a little question of, is this old age? But I also know that I've been flooded in the past in my life, and so it's very visceral, and I don't even have a lot of words for it. I know exactly where it lands, and I wonder if that's an appropriate thing to use.
So, first of all, it's sort of vague, and so it'll be a good thing to demonstrate dealing with. I mean, Flash is great for sort of something that you can't quite put your finger on, but you can feel it, and so it can be retrieved. The key with Flash is that whatever it is has to be in working memory. So we have to have a way of retrieving it. But it sounds like it definitely is in working memory for you. You can think of it. So we'll do a somatic bridge, and then we'll see where we go. Louis, do you have any thoughts?
Sounds good.
Okay. So, but you said you feel it in your chest, is that right?
I definitely feel it in my chest, and I can go back to memories that are visual, and I would imagine there's stuff before that where I notice it. It's just gotten worse as I'm getting older in the last couple of years.
The feeling in your chest?
Correct. And the flooding and the confusion that happens.
Excuse me, the flooding and
the confusion that happens.
Confusion?
Yeah, like my frontal lobe goes offline.
Yeah. And you haven't had COVID?
I have not.
Yeah. But you say you have earlier memories with the same sensation in your chest.
Yes, I have a memory that's actually just a color and maybe a place in a city that I used to live in. So there's no verbal memory. There's no verbal. It's just I go back there, and I have a color of what that is.
But is there a feeling in your chest?
Yes.
And is that feeling as disturbing as the one you have now?
Yes, pretty much on par.
And what was the age that you relate to that earlier?
I think I was still in a pram.
Oh, very young.
Yeah, maybe a little older. I didn't walk till I was 1.5 years, and so maybe it may have been between 1 year and 2 years.
And you have a clear memory?
No, I just have a color
the color.
Yeah,
that's clear. And the sensation in your chest is clear from that memory.
Yeah. So it's not a cohesive memory. It's just because there's no words in that place.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm looking at Louis.
So that's the feeder memory, but because I didn't, it was a long time ago. It was 1.5 years or 1 year old, and I don't have any. There's no words there.
Yeah.
Was there anything going on at that point in your life that you know about that was problematic?
I mean, I do know that my mother and my grandmother were kind of always at war, and I was torn between them.
And how do you know that?
Verbal stories. And also as I got older, I witnessed it. as a young.
Right. Right. You know what I'm skeptical about is how much of this 3-year-old, this 1.5-year-old memory or 2-year-old memory is an actual memory and how much is a kind of an intellectualized something you put together from what you know.
So the put together is the question, what do you know about that time in history? That is intellectual.
Yeah, but you have that color.
I have that color, and that's where when you ask the question, what comes up, can you go back to before? And I did go back to before in school, and in school I'd already sensed there was something prior to that moment. So I have a memory and I know where I was in school, and there's a visual in a class, but that wasn't the first memory. So I tried to go back, and when I kind of hit the end of the train station.
But you have a clear, when you think of this 1.5, 2-year-old memory, you have a clear experience of feeling in your chest.
Yes, very clear.
Okay, well, go for it, Louis.
Give it a try.
If it doesn't feel appropriate, I'm fine to let it go.
Well, it's complex, but the nice thing is that this is something you would not do with the NDR. And we might get a good result with Flash. Do you have a good PE?
I have a few I can draw from, yes.
Okay, good. I can see that it lights you up. That's what we're looking for. So go ahead and just tap.
Doesn't matter whether my eyes are open or closed.
No, it doesn't matter. When I say flash, if they're closed, you can open them, then blink and then close them again.
Whatever helps you stay with the PEF the most.
Mm-hmm. And do you mind talking about the PEF? Would that help?
Not at all. I was on the southern coast of South Africa, staying in an enormous farmhouse with a bunch of people, and it was nighttime. The sky was velvety black, and
Flash.
And the stars were just
Flash. Good.
And I wanted so much to see the Southern Cross that I kept thinking I was seeing it.
Flash.
And then somebody says, no, look up on the horizon. That's the fake Southern Cross. Look up.
Flash. Flash. So tell me, this smile, what is the feeling that that represents?
Freedom.
Freedom. Flash. Ah, you're a traveler. Flash.
And all of this overwhelm and flooding came in while I was making reservations to travel again.
Ah. Ah. Flash. So take a break and just check in lightly to this this color and sensation.
It's come down some, it's loosened some, it feels looser.
What was the suds? I don't think I asked you.
It was about a 9.
Okay. So it's loosened some.
It's down to
Okay.
7, 6.5.
Okay. So go back to South Africa. Now, you don't have any chest sensation come up when you think of that trip.
Not that one, no.
No. Okay, good. So so just think of South Africa, farmhouse, And where did this group assemble spontaneously, or everybody planned to get together?
Oh, it's a very long story of my cousin who lives in Paris knew somebody who was staying in South Africa.
Uh-huh.
I flew down from Johannesburg and
Flash.
at Cape Town, and then drove me up to the Eastern Cape, and
Flash.
it was just like a party, like a party.
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Flash.
Did you see any animals?
Not on that trip. No, I've been many times, but not on that trip. That trip was nature, a lot of nature.
Flash. So how did you travel?
Went by plane. I flew down, and then the person picked me up in a car, and we drove up the coast. It was just stunning.
Flash. I'm just wondering, what kind of cars do they drive in South Africa?
Oh,
Land Rovers.
no, this was a rent-a-car.
Oh, Flash. So again, take a break and check in. See if you notice any change.
Odd. When I think back on the memory, it feels like it's gotten locked, like it's locked in a box somewhere, or locked in time. It's no longer moving or organic.
And so does locked mean less accessible?
Yes. More solid.
Okay. Okay. So go back to South Africa. And you get a feeling of freedom when you think of it.
Yeah.
Flash.
Spent New Year's Eve there, which is summertime and warm, and outside all the night.
Flash. So the freedom is what kind of freedom? Freedom to be able to be with people you love, freedom to be able to move. What is it?
To move, freedom to learn new things.
Flash.
Learning new things is a part of that. Didn't realize that.
Yeah, Flash. It sounds like it's also having new experiences. You were really interested in seeing this lighting effect.
And meeting all kinds of new people.
Flash. Good.
New possibilities.
Flash. I'm struck with how accessible it is to you. I mean, you do light up when you think of it. Flash. So take a break again and check in.
With the first memory.
Yeah. There.
It's shrunk. I can still see a little bit of the color, the little lilac.
The color is less accessible.
Yeah, it's as if it's gone from a bread, large loaf of bread down to maybe in the shape of an eye or something small.
And how's the suds?
3.
And what about the feeling in your chest?
It's still there. It's come back a little bit. It's not. It doesn't fill my chest out quite as much.
I see. Good. Well, it looks like South Africa's still doing it for you.
That's good for this book to go.
Same place.
No, I'm going to be in Johannesburg, but I might go out to the bush or something like that.
Flash. And this is because you have family that lives there?
I adopted family there when I went to work there. I went to work there, volunteered there.
Oh,
And I met people and just became part of the families.
Flash. So, he drove out in a rent-a-car, and so that tells me that they got paved roads all over, which I guess I knew.
Yes, they have paved roads. Really better, their paved roads are better than here.
Flash.
I don't want to stay in the car with the guy driving me though. He wanted something for what he was doing. We won't stay with him.
Flash. Did that feel like an unsafe situation?
No, I didn't. He knew
Okay.
my cousin would have beat him up.
Flash. That's Flash.
So once I get there to the land where we hung out, that was
Flash.
we were on the edge of the Titicaca forest overlooking the ocean.
Wow.
Flash. That South African accent is so unique. Flash. So take a break and check in again.
See if it's different in any way.
So what came up first was the current memory, and that's gone down to a 2. What came up first this time?
Yeah.
And it's really much smaller. And the memory behind is, I'd say a 0 to a 1. It's great. It's grayed out. It's grayed out.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Color's gone.
I love the fact that you don't need to know what that was.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to do something that we're going to do in the practicum. I'd like you to continue to tap and open and close your eyes 3 times.
Fast.
Slowly. So deliberately, in other words. And now rotate your eyes clockwise 3 times. And now rotate your eyes counterclockwise 3 times. Good. And now hum the first 2 lines of Happy Birthday. Yeah, this is from EFT. Yeah, if you want to go ahead, do it again. Great. And if you want to tap the top of your head, you can go ahead and do that. And count to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And backwards.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes. And tell me the product, that is the effect of multiplying 25 times 13.
Holy cow. 350 to 325.
Correct. That's good. And now count to 5, forward and backward.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good. And hum first 2 lines of Happy Birthday. Good. And roll your eyes 3 times clockwise and 3 times counterclockwise.
Look down to the left hard and down to the right.
We're supposed to be tapping here too, right?
No,
Maybe don't do
we're tapping the
Bilateral.
yeah. So so take a break and check in with your target.
So the original, the target, the most recent one, has switched from whatever feelings were in my chest are expansive now. So it's gone from kind of terror to excitement.
Mhm. And the color and sensation from 2 years old.
So this is interesting. So it is changed from grayed out to a blossoming lilac flower.
Yeah. So both things have given you a more expansive, positive association. Good. Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're sticking with me.